Well, Ray, I guess first just talk about kind of how you're feeling this week. Maybe a bittersweet week, right? I know you're happy for Kai, but probably wish you were kind of in that position as well. So, what's the feeling like ahead of this week?
No, I'm just so happy for my cousin. He worked so hard to get in this position. I did this many of times, 3 times to be exact. So, being in the playoffs, the playoffs, and yeah, I'm just really excited for him, and I can't wait till he goes in there and wins this fight.
How much of your preparation has been involved on focusing on your own fight versus trying to help him out and maybe give him a little advice, whether it be tactically or just mentally about how to deal with all this?
I really don't give him that much advice. He's a young veteran. He's been fighting longer than me. And he's been fighting in the bigger promotions from when he was a young age. So um, I believe he got this. I believe in his skills. I believe in his abilities. All he got to do is just go out there and perform.
Awesome. Let's talk about your fight. Mukhamed Berkhamov is the opponent. What do you think of him, what he presents to you, and just the matchup itself?
Um, he's another Russian fighter. I'm not. I don't really know too much about him, other than what Russians want to do. They want to wrestle, and they got good striking. And yeah, I'm not worried about anything. I've been through it all. There's nothing that surprises me at this point. And yeah, I'm just ready. I'm ready to go.
Last thing for me, I guess, what's the goal here? I mean, obviously you want to go win every fight, but is there something about, like, I don't know, sending a message or proving something? I know there's been some setbacks and some struggles lately, so is there something to go out there and prove something in this fight?
I just wasn't excited from these last couple fights and from my previous outings in the tournament. I wasn't excited. Nothing excited me at the PFL. When we first started, the playoffs was 2 fights in the night. That's what really excited me, to go out there and show who was really the toughest. And I just wasn't excited. And now, just from my last outing with my last fight with Jason Jackson, it just excited me again. And that's not that's not how I perform, and that wasn't me. I wasn't even close to what I am now. And the goal is just to get that rematch back and fight for a Bellator belt, or I just want big fights right now.
Hey, Ray. So you talked about your cousin Kai Kamaka and how he's on the same card. Just looking back on the journey throughout the years, how does it feel to finally just look back and see where you both are now in your careers and how far you guys have gotten?
Oh, it's awesome to see where we got. For him especially, he's been through some ups and downs too in his career. But all in all, he deserves everything he's getting. He works hard. He's the hardest worker in the room, and yeah, I'm just real excited for him.
So you look like you're in great shape coming into this fight. You're making the drop back down to welterweight. What kind of went into that thought process of, I want to go back down to 170 pounds?
The thought process was just in my last fight with Jason Jackson. It was really a last minute fight. I wasn't really training, but they needed me, and I'm not a guy to turn down fights, and if I'm a company man, and I'll be there. I've been there from the beginning, so with a full camp and a proper time to prepare, I'm ready.
So you're 3-1 in the state of DC. Is there any satisfaction with coming back to the state, knowing that you have a winning record here?
Yeah, this is where I first fought for the PFL, in DC. Love the city, and yeah, I'm just real comfortable here and ready to go.
What's up, Ray? How you doing?
How's it going?
One last thing about Kai. How beneficial do you feel like it is to have him by your side this week, preparing and cutting weight, and having your cousin, doing all that stuff with you instead of being alone?
Yeah, it's a real blessing. I would have to go through this by myself, but not really. I really have my brothers and my dad. But it's awesome to have him do this with me, or me with him going into the playoffs, and in the semifinals. It's pretty much a dream come true. We talked about this when we were younger, fighting on the same card in a big organization, and yeah, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm. It's awesome to see. I saw you, Kai, and Eddie Baracco, maybe some of your other teammates were at Alexandria Boxing Club earlier this week, boxing gym in the area. What was that experience like?
It was good. It was good to see youth boxing, just youth things in general. Right now, I am in Hawaii. Our island is going through some crazy things with a lot of shooting, young teenage kids shooting each other, shooting people, and it's just real crazy. But to see kids staying off the streets in boxing, it was a good sight.
Hmm. Even though it was a first round knockout, were there any takeaways from Berkhamov's loss to Lorenz Larkin, or notice any openings or holes that Lorenz Larkin poked in his game?
Not really. It's just it's a fight. Things happen. There's really no things to take away from fights, because sometimes you can get caught, sometimes you don't. So, I go in there with the same attitude I was going to go in there. I'm going there right in his face and punch him in his face, and that's it.
So you're looking to get back into the win column with this one. Other than the short notice nature of the last fight, were there any key takeaways from that defeat, or anything differently you're doing in preparation for this one?
I had on full time training camp for this one. I didn't stop training. I trained right after that fight. I didn't stop training, and I just was hungry again. And yeah.
You have so much experience, 36 pro fights at just 31 years old, 25 pro wins. I know this isn't your focus right now, but some fighters out there talk to me about having a certain number of wins they want to reach in their professional career, whether it be 20, 30, 35. Is there any number in your head that, like, I want to reach this number of wins and then I'll be good to retire?
Retirement is not in my vocabulary. I'm gonna fight till I cannot, and yeah, I'm gonna rack up as much wins as I like. I ain't even done yet. I'm in my prime right now, so I am nowhere near close to being done. I'm gonna win more championships, world titles, and yeah.
Thank you, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Anyone else sitting here? Oh, all right, Jackie.
Obviously, for a couple of you veterans of the league, I guess it can get a bit tiresome doing the same thing every year. So when you look at the Supercard in October, does that kind of thing excite you, that if you can get a couple more of those opportunities, maybe you can fit on these one-off events next year?
Yeah. That's the goal. My goal is always to be active during the fight, during the year, with the league and the tournament. You can be active. If you make them to the finals, you can have 5 fights in a year, or within like 8 months or 6 months or something like that. So, yeah, that excites me. I want to just keep being active after this fight, so hopefully they keep me active.
Anyone else? All right, on Zoom, do we have any questions for Ray before we let him go? All right, Amanat, go ahead.
I wanted you to come back towards the UK. And Ray, just one quick one from me. Who do you think that win, Francis Ngannou or Henry Ferreira?
That's a hard fight to pick. But I'm leaning towards Henry Ferreira. He's been with the PFL. Francis just coming in, so no disrespect to Francis, but I think Henry is a dark horse.